Blog Talk Radio. Liftoff on another Tarot Today radio episode here on the Psychic Talk Radio Network. Welcome, everyone. I'm Dax Carlisle, a tarot advisor and numerologist, coming to you live from Tucson, Arizona. And joining me, as always, is my fabulous co-host for Tarot Today Radio, the fabulous Mary Brown. She's a certified tarot master and crystal Reiki master, and she's coming to us live from Amarillo, Texas. Hey, Mary. Happy Psychic Saturday.
Hey, Dax. Happy Psychic Saturday, everybody.
Woo! Here we are again. What was that?
It's a hot one for a lot of people, me included.
Oh, my gosh. Yeah. On my phone, it says it's 96 degrees in Tucson. The thing lies. I'm telling you, we have actual thermometers here. In the shade, it's 105 already, So I am not out on the patio. Yeah, I'm not out on the patio like I normally am. I am in the office, in the air conditioning, because, it is too hot out there. Oh, my God. I'm drinking tons of water, and I'm in the AC, Oh, wow.
Gosh.
Hey, and this is one of those rare shows where we don't have a topic set, folks. It is open lines. It's all about you. It's free mini readings. It's open lines. It's your questions about all the topics we talk about, psychic development and crystals and Reiki and tarot and numerology and hypnotherapy and, you name it, we talk about it. Between Mary and I, we have, everything covered, life coaching, oracle cards, you name it. And if you have a question, if you've always had a burning question, I've always wondered this about numerology, or how does that work in tarot? Give us a call, 714-816-4628. And, of course, you can call in for a mini reading. Whatever's on your mind, whatever's going on with you, just let us know. We'll pull some cards, and between Mary and I, we'll try to have a little bit of advice for you. And we already have a couple people calling in. Remember, it's open lines all show long, so you want to call in now. A lot of our listeners, Mary, they listen into the show and they wait till the bottom of the hour to call in, because we usually have a topic we're discussing or something like that. But it's open lines all show, so you can call in right now and get your spot, because we take the calls in the order that they come in. 714-816-4628. As soon as you get through, press 1 on your dial pad. That puts you up in the caller queue. If you just want to listen to the show, don't press 1. You'll be at the bottom of the switchboard there. But if you want to be live with us, press 1, because that'll put you up in the queue, and we take the calls in the order that they came in. Another way you can chat with us is, in the chat room. That's right. You can go over to psychictalk.net/live. That'll take you right over to today's show post. psychictalk.net/live. You can also do /chat. Either one will take you over here. And if you scroll down, you'll find a player where you can listen to the show. And below the player, you will find the chat room. You can jump in the chat room. You can ask questions, discuss the show, and, of course, ask for a mini reading right there in the chat. Maybe you can't call in. Maybe you're at work, or maybe for some other reason, you have a lot of people around you or something, you can't dial in. Well, just type it in, and Mary and I will try to answer those questions in the chat room, psychictalk.net/chat. What's going on with you, Mary? Anything new, different, or exciting?
No. I'm thinking, like, what is going on with me? Is there? No, not really. Not really. Just going with the flow. That's what I'm doing. How about you, Dax? You're always up to a million things.
Oh, absolutely. A million things. And, we're in a world year of 5, 2021. 2 + 2 + 1 is 5. 5 is that high energy number we talk about a lot on the show. It's the number of adventure and, getting out there and enjoying yourself, or, going on adventures, and can also be a little bit of chaos if you work the energy in the negative. But basically 5's all about change. And if you look at the tarot cards that are card number 5, you see that right away, don't you, Mary? The 5 cards.
Oh, yeah.
And a lot of those. Yeah.
I tried it. I always, I have to say, every time a 5 comes up, it gets my attention. Maybe more so than some of the other cards.
Right. And, a lot of people, especially clients, you're laying out the cards, and if there's, besides the scary major arcana cards that are out there, like, the devil and so forth, if you get a 5 card, it looks bleak, in most decks, especially, Waite Smith, if you're looking at those images, and, difficult situation. You can't have change without stepping outside of your comfort zone. And I think that's why the number 5 cards in the minors are the way they are, Mary, is because that's what, it requires, that, and also negative experiences or ways you're thinking or feeling, or things that are actually happening that are symbolized by some of those cards lead to change as well. And I think that's, what's really going on there. But you always have to look at the positive side of the 5 energy. When you feel yourself in a 5 moment, Mary, think about, okay, how do I turn this into an adventure? How do I, get excited about the change? And because change is good. It leads to new things. I've done a ton of changes. I've relationships that no longer serve me. A lot of you know that I'm a Air Force veteran. I've been, we were just talking about this in the green room, Mary, where, I've been volunteering at the veteran service organizations for, 7-8 years now. And I've let that all go because it was taking away time for me to progress forward with Psychic Talk Radio and the Tarot Guild and so forth. So I've cut out a lot of that. I've also cut out all the clutter. I spent this entire week going through stuff in my storage that I haven't looked at in 7-8 years, and have taken, 5 loads down to the dumpster. I am releasing. I am letting go. That's what you do in a 5-year, release everything. We've also had a lot of 9 energy coming up in the numerology for the day, for the last couple of days. Actually, the past week or two, actually, really. And other things, cards in the deck that have shown up as, cards of the day. I've been doing actually whole spreads of the day now. And a lot of the cards are talking about endings, this 9 energy, and letting go of what no longer serves you. Oh, that reminds me, while we're waiting for people to call in at 714-816-4628. What'd you get for your card of the day?
Well, it's really interesting. I drew a card from, and by the way, folks, if you don't know this, I'm going to tell you, I post a card of the day every day on our Psychic Talk Radio Facebook group. So we have a page in a group. You want to be sure to like the page and join the group, and you can go to psychictalk.net/Facebook, and it'll take you right there, and join the group, join the conversation, and you can see a card of the day every day that I posted there. And today's card comes from Carolyn Mrs. Archetype cards. Those are always fun. This is kind of a classic deck that's been around for a long time, and the card I drew was the Rescuer. And what's really cool about these cards, much like numbers, much like tarot, there's kind of a light and a shadow attribute to it. You know, there's two different sides. You know, there's multiple meanings, right? The Rescuer card, and it tells you on the card, but I'll for people who haven't seen the card yet, I'll tell them. The light aspects or attributes of the Rescuer archetype. You know, that's somebody who wants to help others, right? You know, the light aspect is that provides strength and support to others when they're in crisis. And this is acting out of love with no expectation of reward. Now, that's the light attribute of the Rescuer archetype. Now, the shadow is included as well. And the shadow rescuer assumes the rescue party will reciprocate. How many people out there have said or thought to themselves, well, you know, my gosh, I helped you when this happened, I helped you with that happened, and now I need help and nobody's here for me? Yeah, you hear that. That's you being the shadow rescuer. You need to examine that, right? The other thing with the shadow rescuer is it can maybe consciously, maybe subconsciously, maybe something that they would never admit, but sometimes they're rescuing because it keeps the person who's being rescued needy. They need needing.
Exactly.
You know. So those are things to do. And so what we do is, you know, we observe whether we have always tried to help people when they were in trouble, and whether if that was because it was the right thing to do, kind of for altruistic reasons, or were there selfish motives in it? And, you know, when you work with archetypes, you gotta examine both sides, you know, and we call it shadow work to a certain extent. You know, it's a type of shadow work to approach it in this way. And nobody says it's easy or fun or is going to make you feel great, but it also is terrific for making progress, for working on ourselves, for being, you know, the holistic beings that we want to be. You know, we got to examine the shadows. Everybody has them. It's nothing to be ashamed of. But when you're being the rescuer all the time, it's time to look at that. What are you getting out of it, and why are you doing it? Did you get a card of the day, Dax?
Oh, yeah. Of course, I always do the numerology of the day. Like I said, over the last week or so, I've been trying out something new, doing a whole spread of the day. But today, I didn't have time because of the radio show and everything. I decided to, I'll just pull a card real quick. So the numerology is, it's July 10th, 2021, so that's 7102021. You add all those numbers up, you get 13. 1 plus 3 is 4. So that's the number of structure. And then, of course, the 10th, 1 plus 0 is 1. So it's about self. And it fits in perfectly with what's going on with the card of the day. I got Judgment. I got the Judgment card. And it's a card of drastic change, release, and review and renewal, which fits in perfectly with what we were just discussing, Mary, you know, about change in this world year of 5. And so today, in alignment with that, looking at the number 4, which is structure, its foundations, and the judgment card is often a shift in your foundations. And then the 1 energy from the day, getting back in touch with yourself. I always call the judgment card the cosmic wake-up call. And so today is the day to, take some alone time, some quiet time just with yourself. And, when you calm down and you just sit with yourself, I'm not talking about contemplating your navel for an hour. I'm talking about take 5 or 10 minutes and get away from everybody and everything, turn off your phone or put it on vibrate or whatever, and turn off all your notifications, and just sit with yourself for a while. It's the cosmic wake-up call. When you're calm, your inner voice can be heard more clearly. And today is the day to really take a look at, where are you in your life now? And what have you learned? And what are you grateful for? Also, what are you tired of? What can you release and let go of? And then what's your path forward after that? So there you go. That's what I got today. How about that, Mary?
Oh, yes, that's great. I'm sorry, I was contemplating my navel. But
yeah. She was contemplating her navel.
There's a lot to be said for that as well. No, I think that's great. I think that's some good advice.
Yeah, and speaking of advice, let's take some phone calls. And let's see. Taking a look over here. Who's been waiting the longest? It looks like area code 850. We're going to take area code 850. I want to mention, I see some people calling in now. Remember to press 1 on your dial pad so we know that you want to be live on air with us. And if you're sitting on the fence, this is when you want to call in. Call in right now, 714-816-4628. That's 714-816-4628. Press 1 on your dial pad. Get into the queue. Secure your spot so we get to you today. And, of course, you can join us in the chat room. I see Sharona in there. Sharona's got a show coming up, and Mary's going to be doing the upcoming shows at the bottom of the hour. And let's see, Mary's in there. I'm in there. You can join us in the chat room, psychictalk.net/live. Scroll down below the player. You'll find the chat room. It takes a couple seconds for it to load, so be patient. All righty, so 850. Caller, what's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hi, my name is Keisha, calling from North Carolina.
Hi, Keisha.
Hi.
What's going on? How are you?
I was wondering, do you see? I'm doing fine. How are you?
Pretty good.
Okay.
Burning up over here.
Oh, is it? Yeah,
in Arizona.
It's been raining, but we got that. Yeah, I heard it's hot. I think you guys sent Elsa over here. All that moisture and it turned into Elsa. That's what happened. So it's been raining for the past couple of weeks. Yeah, off and on. But yeah. So it's hot, but it's like muggy because of the rain and whatnot. So
humid.
Yeah, we had some rain too.
Okay. So
what's that question?
It's coming. I was wondering, do you see me moving soon?
Moving.
Moving.
We get a lot of moving. Everybody wants to know, are we moving?
Everybody's on the move.
Yeah. Or they decide to lock us down again.
I did a quick 5-card yes/no, and it's given me one of those muddled answers. If you get 4 or 5 yes cards or 4 or 5 no cards, it's a strong yes or a strong no. But when you get only 2 or 3, it's kind of it could go either way. It could really go either way. Hold on, Tish. Hold on a second. I'm going to put your line on hold because there is a lot of background noise. I don't know if you were hearing that, Mary, but I couldn't concentrate. So okay, we're just going to put Tish on hold for just a second. Sorry about that, but wow, background noise. Woo-hoo. It something can break free in the next. Oh God, it could take as long as 3 months, and even into winter. Some of the cards are indicating here, but hey, you can make this happen faster. You can make it happen in 3 weeks instead of 3 months. It's, all about your intention and setting that intention if that's what you really want to do. It seems to me like, some of these cards are talking about you're holding on too tightly to something. Not sure exactly what that is, but that's kind of impeding your progress. Maybe it's you have to. We've been talking all show about letting go. Maybe you have to let go of where you are now and how things are now, and set that intention that you're going to go for the move. That could be a possibility. What's going on here? Getting a lot of 3 cards. In fact, the timing card is the 3 card. That's where I'm getting the 3 weeks to 3 month time frame. And but 3 is also creativity and communication. So it might be getting creative about the move, and maybe not, locking yourself into you have to move here to this specific, being more open on the possibilities of, where to live. I don't know if you want to, change cities or not, but we'll bring you back on and find that out. But that's basically what I'm seeing there. Mary, what are you getting?
I'm getting that there's something you got to finish first. Something that, and along with that, the temperance card comes up, overlooking everything else. It's like saying, like, okay, we got to be patient. We got to be patient. But I do see you moving. Get the Knight of Wands in the outcome position. The time frame that I'm going to give you for this move, kind of vast. But it's in between November 13th to January 9th. And I think that
wow, really specific.
Yeah, right. Between November 13th and January 9th. I'm feeling December more than anything else, but it's in that time frame. But right now at the moment, it looks like we have some limitations, something that's left unfinished that we feel like we've completed, but we still got to wrap up some details, and it's going to take time. It may also take money as well. Moves usually do take money. This is more about maybe saving up for the move. Yeah, that kind of stuff. Paying off whatever needs to be paid off, or selling whatever needs to be sold. But it's saying, like, we got to take care of some stuff first, and that's going to take some time. So we're going to have to be a little bit patient with the move and get all our ducks in line. But yeah, I feel like you're going. Mm-hmm. It's just later on.
Yeah. Well, let's bring Tish back on, but I just wanted to remark that the time frame you have fits in perfectly with what I was seeing. The delay and things needing to be taken care of, again, that's what I was getting. And I'm getting a lot of Pentacle cards. So, yeah, I really do feel it's more about finances and logistics, like you were saying.
Yeah.
Did that help you out, Tish?
Yeah, I was getting Pentacle too.
Oh, yeah, that helped me. But I thought I'd be gone by the end of summer. So, okay, maybe it's a little bit longer than what I've been thinking.
Well, it could still happen. You could make it happen if you set the intention.
Yeah, but safer, like you said,
it'd
probably be safer around November-ish. She's right.
Yes,
though.
and that's
so.
And that's interesting. That's exactly what I was telling. That's exactly what I said. 3 weeks to 3 months, depending on how fast you want to do it. 3 months brings you right into November. November, December, just like Mary was saying. Yeah, perfect.
Oh, really? Is it that close to the end of the year? Oh my gosh! right?
Yeah, it's July.
Yeah.
So you got August, September, October.
August,
That's 3 months,
September.
and then you're into November already.
No,
And I'll
Isn't
tell
that
you,
insane?
the three,
You're right. 3
that
whole
3
months.
months
We'll
could
bring
go
right into
fast.
November. Yeah.
Yeah,
It could.
that 3 months
It could.
could go pretty fast. So whatever you can take care of during that time frame to
And no, you're
prepare
right.
you
I'm
for
in the
your
middle
move.
of something. It's some things I'm trying to tie up. I can't do anything, or I'll probably mess up the whole process. So, and you're right about that as well. So, and I don't know how long that way. They told me 60 days, so it might go, 4 months as far as I know. So, yeah. So you're right. You're right.
Well,
so,
thanks for the call.
So you're right. Absolutely.
Yeah,
Thank you, and you
thanks
guys
for
have a
calling.
blessed day. No problem.
Enjoy the rest
Bye-bye.
of your weekend. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, that was a fun call. I love when, everything just fits together like that. And like I always say, tarot is 90% confirmation and only 10% new information. So we're just confirming what she already knows. Yeah. Hey, before we go to the next call, I wanted to mention I don't know what's causing this, but I've noticed on our Tarot Guild group, it's growing by leaps and bounds. If you're interested in tarot numerology and you're not in the Facebook group, you should go over and join the Facebook group. We jumped from 6,300 to 6,400. We're actually over 6,400 members now on our Facebook group. It's Tarot Guild. You can actually just type in thetarotguild.com/Facebook. It'll take you right over there. Or if you're already in, search Tarot Guild. There's a page. You can like the page. You're looking for the group. Don't confuse it with the Australian Tarot Guild's group. Make sure it's the Tarot Guild. And you'll know because it'll say there's 6,400 members or 6.4K, I think is how Facebook writes it, Come over and join. And so we've had 100 people join in just the last 3 weeks, Mary. I don't know what's going on. It's crazy.
Awesome.
Yep. It's fantastic. A lot of great. The other thing I want to mention is, along with that, and the fresh blood coming in, there is there's really great questions and ideas popping up, and it seems like every day I'm seeing one or two really great questions on there. And, I go in the comments on the post and try to answer. And by the time I get to paragraph number 3, I'm like, oh, geez. Okay, I need to write this as an article. Then I go over to the Tarot Guild website, thetarotguild.com, and I write a whole article, and then I just link the article in the comments because I don't want to have this huge comment on the Facebook post, but oh my God, great questions coming in from a lot of the new members. And we love that, folks. We love that. So if you have questions about numerology, questions about tarot, we had, what have they been talking about on there? We were talking, one member, it wasn't a question. They just brought up that she feels that it's Iren, IREN, and she posted she thinks tarot readers should stop undervaluing themselves. And we've discussed pricing your tarot readings in classes and previous shows and things like that. And I think we should do another show on that on Tarot Today Radio in the near future. But I wrote a whole article in response to that on the Tarot Guild site. You can just click articles on thetarotguild.com. Remember to get the in there. thetarotguild.com. Click on articles in the navigation, and it should be the first or second article in there. And if you're not finding it, by the way, there's always the search box at the top of every page. You can just, type in pricing your services or, valuing yourself. So it'll come up. And I talk a lot about that because a lot of readers are still really undervaluing their service, Mary. Yep. So I'd like to do that as a topic if it's okay with you, maybe in August or something like that. Talk about pricing your services, because we've talked about it before, but it's been a year or two, so I thought we'd bring that topic back.
We talked about it with Corby. That's one
that
people
a little bit.
should go back and listen to. The one with Corby lied, because she talked a lot about it. If you are interested in doing psychic fairs and that kind of stuff, and she gave good advice on pricing, and because it really depends on the environment. It really does. If you're online, that's one thing. If you're going to the fairs where it's all psychics and stuff, that's another thing. If you've just got a little shop in a town and you're the only game in town, that's a whole other thing. And
it all depends on the situation and so forth, but I also have some thoughts about what undervaluing your service actually does, because it doesn't matter if you're a tarot reader or a hypnotherapist or a Reiki practitioner or a psychotherapist or any kind of helping modality. It actually does a disservice to the clients to undercharge, and I explain that in the article, my thoughts on that, and I just give a lot of advice in that article about what I've learned over the years about perception and marketing, and that's why I want to talk about it fresh again on the radio show as well, because I have some different ideas nowadays about these things. And so go check it out over at thetarotguild.com. By the way, while you're over there, at the top of any page, click sign up. If you haven't joined the website yet, it's actually a social media platform. It's like Facebook. I often say it's Facebook for tarot. And it has all the features of the big social media website. It has friending and private messaging and chat rooms and groups and forums and all these things on the new website. We've had it for about a year and a half, coming up on 2 years, when our old static website, which was just like basically a billboard on the web, the servers, the 10-year-old servers finally crashed, and we had to build a new website anyway. So I thought, hey, let's go back to the Ning platform and create a fully, full-featured social networking website, and that's what we did. We built that. It's thetarotguild.com. It's free to join the website and use all the features. Just go over to thetarotguild.com and click sign up at the top of any page. You can also write in your browser thetarotguild.com/sign up. Come over and join us and take advantage of all the features, especially if you're a professional reader. You get your own page on the website. You can use it like your own website on the web there, without having to build a whole website, because it's fully customizable, your page on there. And go check it out. I think you're going to love all the features. thetarotguild.com/sign up. Let's see who's been waiting the longest here. Let's go to area code 954. Caller, what's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hi, it's Mary from Florida. I would like just a general reading, if I may, please.
Oh,
any particular area of life, career, romance?
Yeah. How about, I have so many questions. First would be health, and then relationships.
So just a general look, a general reading on health and relationships, well-being, I guess we could call it, in connection.
Yeah, we're unanswered.
Right. So what do you need to know? We always, when we call them general questions, I always have it in my head that I'm asking, what do they need to know about this? So let's take a look. Dax, you want to do one and I'll do the other? I can look at the health one, and you want to look at relationships? Okay.
Sure.
All right. Let's see. What do you need to know when it comes to health? And, of course, I'm not a doctor. I can't diagnose. I can't prescribe. all that stuff. If you feel you have a serious medical issue, you want to make sure you seek out the right licensed professional to help you with it. But what does the tarot say you need to know about health? My goodness. You're worried about, are you worried about something? If you're not worried about it, you're going to be worried about it, but you're going to worry too much.
Now. I get answers,
okay. Yeah. You're, okay. So, the essential focus card is the Ten of Swords, and it's kind of one of those cards where, the guy's laying there with 10 swords sticking out of their back, and sometimes it even means back issues, right? Mm-hmm. Problems with their back pain, that kind of thing. The Eight of Pentacles is, so the Eight of Pentacles is above it, and that's kind of a funny card in the sense that, that's one that's sometimes connected to work. It's like we work and we hurt our back. Does that happen? That's what this looks like to me. But look, the Judgment card comes up here and it says, like, you need to make a decision about this, and maybe it's something you've known for a while that you needed to make a decision about. And if we're worried about, money and, with the Eight of Pentacles there, that's one thing. The Nine of Swords at the end here is when we worry too much about something. Like we can just like overblow it, and what we need to be doing instead of being in our head about it is start taking those steps in order to, it's like get out of the problem and into the solution. And what's the best
what I'm
way?
Working on. Yeah, I'm working on that right now.
Yeah, and the Five of Swords is underlying everything else. Dax talked a lot about fives. Mm-hmm. The Five of Swords to me is a card. Usually, sometimes it does have a sense of like an uneven playing field to it, but a lot of times in readings, the Five of Swords comes up for me having to do with boundary issues. It's like, okay, this is pushing us out of our comfort zone. But sometimes it's saying like, okay, we got to get out of the box in order to solve the problem. So that could involve, taking a different approach than maybe, you would traditionally take. Okay. Mm-hmm. But that's what's coming up on health, so you got to make a decision about it, and don't be afraid to think outside of the box, and don't be like the Nine of Swords here, and where we worry too much to the point that we're so stressed, we're not sleeping well, and that just makes everything worse because stress and worry and all of that stuff also affects the body physically. So there's something to keep in mind. We don't need to be making it worse with where our head is at.
Right.
And that sounds crazy, but it happens. It's happened to me. It happened to me, months and months of pain, and then I'm like, wallowing in it, and I'm like, wait a minute, I'm making this worse, aren't I? It's kind of one of those things, and that even if we have one part of our body that is really bothering us, it's the concept of the whole body, the mind, body, and spirit. Something to keep in mind. So let's see what Dax is getting when it comes to relationships.
Thank you.
Mhm.
Awesome. Yeah, so it's very interesting here. We've got an individual showing up as the central focus card in the middle, and then it's bookended by two cards on the left and two cards on the right. So the card in the middle is coins, or the King of Pentacles, and Pentacles, that's the earth element. So we're looking at potentially a Taurus, a Virgo, or a Capricorn kind of energy coming in here. And and this kind of person, we're talking about somebody that's really reliable and solid and respected and consistent nature. Yeah. This is the person that wants to come in, and I'm going to get to why he or she may or may not have come in yet by those other cards in just a second here. But I just want to give you a focus on this kind of person. Now, it doesn't have to be somebody that was actually born in Taurus, Virgo, or Capricorn, but most likely but it it can also be somebody that just has that type
energy.
of energy. Yeah, that's what I'm looking at. And this is somebody that's really resourceful. They're financially stable and competent and comfortable and kind of more traditional. All right.
Right.
Now, on the left, we got these two cards. We got the Two of Swords right next to the Fool card. And the Two of Swords next to the Fool card is talking about just taking a leap of faith and making the decision and going for it. The Two of Swords is talking about two potential ways of going, and it could – she has a blindfold on as well, and so you can't see your way forward if you have a blindfold on. And sometimes that's indicating that you don't want to make the choice. It could also be that you are unable or think you're unable to make the choice, or it could be a lot of different. The Fool card right next to it is saying you've got to go for it and just make the decision, whatever that is. It has something to do with obviously relationships and with this individual coming in. It could be just deciding that although you're not comfortable, you need to step outside the box, which is in alignment once again with what Mary was saying. This is all about change. It's all about moving forward, and sometimes you have to make the leap. And it requires stepping outside of your comfort zone. Now, on the other side of the King of Pentacles is the Devil card and the Four of Pentacles. Both of these cards are talking about holding on to something. You're holding on to the past. The Devil card in particular is often about being attached to something from the past baggage, past relationships. The only way I can meet somebody or have met anybody that I've gotten romantically involved with has been by doing X, Y, Z, and so you get yourself. You're putting yourself in a box. You need to step outside and be more open to the universe, bringing this individual in from avenues that you're not normally used to going down. You see, and a lot of it, we've been talking a lot on today's show about releasing things and letting go. And there's some baggage that you need to let go of in order to make room for someone new to come in. And it could be literal, like something you literally need to go through the closets and throw things out, make some room in there, make some room in the drawers. That's what I'm doing. I've been doing that all week long. And but it can also be figuratively. It's like thought patterns that no longer serve you, beliefs that no longer serve you, relationships that are holding you back from the type of relationship you really want because you're still attached to this other relationship. It could be so many different things, and I've only got a couple of minutes here on the radio show to give you an idea of what direction to go in, but start thinking outside the box. And it's funny how what Mary was getting for your health is similar to what I'm getting for the relationship. It's all about stepping outside of your comfort zone. Yep.
Right.
Well, I hope that helped you out.
That makes
Thanks
a lot
for the
of
call.
sense. Thank you both very much.
Thanks for trialing.
Yep. Thank you. Have a good weekend. Bye-bye.
You
Bye-bye.
too. Bye-bye.
Enjoy the rest of your weekend. Hey, Mary, we're past the bottom of the hour. What's coming up on the network this week?
Yes. Well, this week on the Psychic Talk Radio Network, we've got some great stuff going on. Our next show is actually going to be tomorrow, Sunday, July 11th, 11 a.m. Pacific, 2 p.m. Eastern. It's the Magic Universe Show with your host, Sharona Rapsick, and she's going to be having a special guest, personal coach, Sir Lisa R. Berry. Plus, they're going to be doing free tarot mini readings and having open lines, so you want to make sure you call in for that. That's going to be a great show. And then after that, on Monday, July 12th, 11 a.m. Pacific, 2 p.m. Eastern. It's the Wisdom of the Soul show with your host, Janice Fuchs. And Friday, Dax will be back, right? No, you're not. It is actually the spiritual.
Fridays is spiritual guidance. Yeah, no.
Yeah, Spiritual Guidance Radio. And that's also a new show, fairly new, still new. And it's also at a new time, 5 p.m. Pacific, 8 p.m. Eastern, with your host, Catherine Hahn, who is an angelic channel and energy healer. And she gives free on-air guidance. And then Dax and I will be back on Saturday, July 17th, next Saturday, 11 a.m. Pacific, 2 p.m. Eastern. And we have a special guest on the Tarot Today radio show, Kayla Rina, who is a certified tarot master. I think she's one of our
through the guild, yes.
Certified tarot masters through the Tarot Guild, so she can talk about her experience. She wants to talk about how to unleash your inner winner using tarot. Plus, we'll have open lines and tarot mini readings as well. And you can find all of these shows listed by going to psychictalk.net/upcoming and check them out. Keep up with the network. Back to you, Dax.
You know, I almost forgot about Michaela coming on. That's going to be great. You know, I want to learn how to unleash my inner winner with tarot myself. So that's going to be fun. It's going to be fun next week, you know. And, of course, when we have guests on that happen to be tarot readers, you know, we often let them first crack at the calls when they come in, you know. So it's always interesting to hear somebody else do readings. So I'm hoping Michaela will be doing that with us as well. Oh, by the way, a little birdie told me that you are going to be the guest on a radio show on the 25th of July. You're going to be on Magic Universe with Sharona. What are you guys talking about?
It's a secret. It's a big secret.
Okay.
No. I'm just joking. Can you imagine? It's like if we never told anybody, you know, what we're doing. It's like, why would you tune in, right? Tune into the show. It's a mystery. But no, I'm really excited to be on the Magic Universe show with Sharona. You were just on, too. I'm going to be on the 25th. And we are going to be talking about how to raise your vibes with crystals. So it's going to be a lot of fun. Don't want to miss it. You got to raise your vibes. And crystals are a great way to help you do that.
Fun stuff. Let's see. So we're going to go back to the phone line, see how many calls we can squeeze in before the end of the hour here. Let's see. Oh, and I always forget, but I want to make sure I mention it this time. We get so excited on the shows, we don't even bother to mention. You know, you can get a hold of us in between shows, and Mary's page is psychetalk.net/Mary. Mine is psychetalk.net/Dax. And you can contact us in between shows. You can give us ideas, people you'd like us to interview, decks you'd like us to review, topics you'd like us to discuss, things like that. And of course, you can always put private questions. What's that?
Send us your psychic spin questions.
Yes, for our psychic spin, which is coming up at the end of the month. Yeah, that's when we ask tarot the big questions, what's on everybody's mind. So if you have any of those really big questions, you know, how does this work? How does that work? What's going on with this in politics or that in news, or, you know, current events or things going on that's in the, you know, general consciousness of all of us. You know, so these are not the personal questions. You know, you can call in for those and get a mini reading on that. But we want you to, ask the big questions, folks, and we'll pull cards. We've pulled cards on everything from, how does tarot work? Does the divine exist? Is there life after death? What about those aliens, UFOs? I mean, you
robots
name it, we've asked the tarot
over.
about. Taking over, yeah. So, get a hold of us in between shows and say, hey, this would be a cool topic for you guys to ask the tarot. And that show's coming up on, I think there's 5 Saturdays. So it'll be the 24th of July is the Psychic Spin. And then we're taking a break on the 31st. There won't be a show on the 31st. Mary will be back with There's a Rock for That on August 7th. And then we'll be back with Tarot Today Radio the 14th. But, yeah. So the other thing is I wanted to mention, we're doing these quick little mini readings on air. You could book a private session with Mary or a private session with myself via our pages, psychictalk.net/Mary, psychictalk.net/Dax, because we only have a short amount of time we can spend with you. Also, there might be some things that you don't want to, air your dirty laundry out there to tens of thousands of people listening live. Yeah, so just thought I'd throw that out there. I think there was one other thing I wanted to touch on. Oh, the Sizzling Summer Sale. I haven't even mentioned that at the Tarot Guild. You can save a ton during the Sizzling Summer Sale. It's our annual summer sale. We do this every year. And everything from readings to my tarot and numerology course to professional memberships if you're a professional reader, if you want to get your tarot certification, huge discounts for the summer. Everything's like $67 or something. It's like everything's like 30 to 33% off. Let's just say that. And you can just go over to thetarotguild.com and you'll see the big Sizzling Summer Sale banner. Just click on that or type in your browser summer.thetarotguild.com. Take advantage of those specials there. Let's see. Who's been waiting the longest? Area code 805. Caller, what's your name? Where are you calling from?
Oh, thank you. Hi, this is Donna, and I'm in California.
California. We're ready.
I have a question. I look after this blind man about 12 hours a week. I've been doing it for over a year, and I think I add a lot of joy to his life. And he said the other day that he was going to put me in his will, and I wanted to know, do you think he'll follow through with this? Because that was a nice gesture of him to say that.
Wow. Okay.
Wow.
Yeah.
It's such a unique question. It's like, well, we haven't had this question. That's awesome.
I love it. God, I love when we get questions that we haven't had before. Right away, I'm getting this. The central focus card is the 8 of Wands, and 8 is abundance. It's a very powerful indicator, just that card alone. But out of the 5 cards, I'm getting 4 out of 5 yeses. It's a very strong, pretty strong yes that he is actually going to follow through with that. Trying to see here if there's any.
He said he talked to his
indication.
lawyer and his brother. His brother is the executor of the will, but I didn't know if he had to sign any papers or anything. But maybe not, because he's blind. Maybe he just does it through the lawyer and the executor. I don't know.
No, most likely he'll have to sign a new will. And actually, it's so interesting. That is actually showing up in the cards in the form of the 3 of Pentacles. Yes. So you have the 3 of Pentacles. There's him and his brother and the executor and the lawyer, and he has a document. Literally in the image from the Wade Smith card, he's got a document in his hand. That usually this card. This is such an unusual question, and usually this card comes up talking about projects and things like that when we're doing like a career reading. But this fits so perfectly exactly what you're talking about. It is the exact situation, You know, you want to keep the lines of communications open here, but it looks like it's happening, and it's happening, you know, with it being the Eight of Wands, it's happening faster than, you know, sooner than later. Mary, are you picking up anything else on this? Or
well, I also got
nailed?
the Three of Pentacles, which is pretty wild.
Oh, good.
I also got the.
That's wild.
Yeah, I got the Three of Pentacles. I also got the Magician card. I do think that, yes, he's sincere about it. What?
You are kidding me.
What?
I didn't mention it
Nope.
because I didn't want to go on too long, but I got the Magician card too. That was on the other side of the Eight of Wands. This is crazy.
Amazing. Yeah. So I mean, this looks like a pretty solid yes. You know, the one card that's kind of interesting though is the Seven of Cups is underneath everything else. So the Seven of Cups is kind of interesting. I'm actually using the pre-Raphaelite tarot. And in this, you know, there's all, you know, kind of like the traditional, there's all these cups with all these different things in the air. But in this particular deck, the person is like reaching in and looking for it. So all I would say is, you know, hopefully this is easy to find. You know, like if he's got an executor and his brother involved in everything, you know, chances are.
Power of attorney. Too.
Yeah.
He has all that. His brother. Yeah.
Oh.
But
okay, cool.
yeah, he has no children. His brother's a billionaire, so it's not like, you know. He does have a woman friend that he's known for a long time. So yeah, I'm sure she'll get quite a bit of it. And yeah, just anything I'd be so grateful for, you know. And I love this person. I love him as a person. Yeah.
Yeah. And you've brought a lot of joy and happiness into his life, so it makes sense.
Oh, definitely, I do. Yeah. I think of a lot of fun things to do with him.
Well, thanks for the call, Donna.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it. You two have a wonderful day.
Enjoy your weekend.
Have a great weekend.
Yes, and we're coming up on the top of the hour when the show's supposed to end, but you know, let's try to squeeze in a call, maybe two. Who's been waiting the longest here? It looks like area code 916. Caller, are you there? What's your name?
Hello.
Where are you calling from?
Hi, my name's Ray. I'm calling from California.
Another Californian. Yay.
Yep. So, so I'll make my question quick. You know, I already have my career under me. I'm comfortable, and I think I'm in a good position in my life where I'm curious about romance. If you see it, you know, don't tell me what I want to hear, obviously. Tell me, like, with there, just really think I'm confident and I don't have any baggage in life. Just really interested.
What are you getting, Mary?
Let me take a look at this. Let me shuffle. I wasn't shuffled yet. Okay, so romance, you know, what do we see? You know, sounds like you got everything else squared away. Looking at romance, first thing I get is the Star card. Okay, so you want this. You know, the Star card is like what we aspire to, what we hope for happens. And look, you know, the cards are in it. This is really interesting. So I got the Fool card, the Chariot card, the Star card as well. And, you know, those are major cards, so this is a big deal, right? I don't think it's going to be like a little somebody to date occasionally kind of romance we're talking about. And with the Fool card overlooking everything, setting the atmosphere, saying like, okay, this is actually going to be unexpected when it happens, you know. It's going to take you by surprise, and it may, in fact, require a leap of faith. The last card that I get is the Two of Wands, where we might find ourselves at a crossroads where we got to make a choice. And the other card, the Chariot card, is really interesting. So I do think that romance is definitely literally in the cards for you, right? I think it's going to take you by surprise, and I think that you are going to have to kind of make a choice about you know, how deep a dive you're going to take into this. You know, the King of Cups is underlying everything else, you know, and he kind of stands out as this one card. I don't know if you're a water sign. You don't have to be. The thing about the King of Cups is sometimes the King of Cups can wear his feelings on his sleeve, okay? So you probably don't think of yourself as somebody who does that, right? You're, you know, the successful person. You got the career. You got all this stuff. But sometimes when a romance or a relationship comes around that kind of, you know, bowls us over, we can become like, you know, too sensitive to everything. So it's saying like, okay, you know, you want this to be a partnership, right? So we've got to take it one step at a time, even though it may require us jumping in with both feet in the beginning. So I'm excited for you. You're going to have to call back in the future and let us know how it's going. Dax, let's see what Dax is getting, and maybe he can provide some more details.
Do you think it'll happen sooner than later? Do you think it'll happen sooner than later, or later than sooner?
Yeah, I think it's sooner. That's what I'm going to go with. Yeah, you know, just real quick, Ray. Because I think Mary pretty much got it all covered. And by the way, I'm getting the same card, so it's just repeating. Mary, I got the Chariot too.
Wow.
Second reading in a row where we're getting the same cards. You know, I also got multiple major arcana cards. This is a big thing, you know. One of them was the Devil card like we had with the previous caller, and right next to it, the Five of Cups, which is literally the crying over spilt milk card. I just had this feeling that, you know, you might not have been having success with this in the past, if you know what I mean. Okay, and so you don't. The problem is that you're attached to it. So that's what the Devil card is saying, and the Five of Cups. So you don't want to focus on the lack. You don't want to focus on prior relationships that didn't work out, or, you know, the inability to find the right person, or whatever it is. You know, focusing on that is just telling the universe you want more of that. So instead, you got to move forward, and that's exactly what the Chariot card is saying. Okay, and then this is either somebody from your past or somebody from your past helps you meet this person one way or the other. Then comes in the Knight of Pentacles, and this person is somebody that is an earth sign. Okay, a Taurus, a Virgo, or a Capricorn, just like we had with the previous caller. They are either chronological. Sorry, say again.
I'm a Capricorn.
Okay, good. Yeah. Well, you know, Capricorns get along with other Capricorns and Virgos and Tauruses. But this is somebody I see actually coming in that is either chronologically the same age as you, or might have a more youthful outlook on things. And but there's somebody that's very grounded. Very grounded. You might need that. You might need a little bit of that grounding. And this could be somebody actually you already know from your past, although I'm getting more of the feeling that somebody from your past, somebody in that you know, is through them you meet this person. That's the feeling I'm getting. And the time frame is like within the next 6 weeks.
Oh, that's soon and interesting. I'm going to save the show.
Yeah.
If it happens, I'll get back to you guys.
You've got to call back and let us know. We're dying to know. Especially because Mary and I got some of the same cards. Yeah. Thanks, Ray.
Hey, thank you guys so much. Have a great weekend.
You too.
Enjoy the rest of your weekend. Oh, my God, that was a fun call. Okay, a couple minutes after the top of the hour. You want to squeeze another one in?
Let's squeeze in one more.
Okay, one more. And remember, if we don't get to your call today, don't worry. You can call in and talk with Sharona and her guest, Dr. Barry, tomorrow. Same bat time, same bat channel, right? You just go to psychictalk.net/live at airtime tomorrow, which is the same as today, 11 a.m. Pacific. So that is 2 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. in the UK if you're in Europe. Yes, we do have listeners around the globe, folks. Let's see. Who's been waiting the longest? It looks like area code 724. Caller, what's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hi, this is Mandy. Thanks for having me. I'm calling from Pennsylvania.
Oh, our home state.
Yes, most definitely. I haven't spoke with you guys for some time. I'm calling today to see if you saw a physical residential move this week or if you saw it further out.
Okay. A physical move. Are you moving within the same city or moving somewhere farther away?
I haven't signed a lease. I'm not opposed to moving away. The only thing I can find is a neighboring town, and the place where I'm at is really pressuring me to move, but I'm, kind of fighting that for my defense so that I just don't move just to move, per se, to please them. But I don't know which way, if I need to accept that I have to go this coming week, I need to accept that. But if there's a realistic hope that it's going to be postponed even for 2 weeks to a month, that, I obviously then I could breathe better. I just don't want false hope.
Right. And, I'm not getting a move this week. Not that fast. No. Much farther out. Yeah.
Oh wow.
I'm seeing it's showing up the can't think of the right word for it. I don't want to say arguments, but the embattlement, or I don't know how to describe it with this person, with this whole thing and with you moving and them wanting you to move and all this kind of stuff like that. And there's some weird things going on in the background that you might not be entirely aware of.
Okay. Yeah, because I was supposed to be out on the 5th time, so they expect me to give them an address Monday morning, no later than 8:30, or they threaten me with an eviction.
Yeah, well, that's the thing is you want to read your contracts, and I feel like there's a lot of pressure here. I'm feeling the pressure. I'm feeling this stuff going on behind your back. In other words, they're hiding the fact that you actually have a lot more leverage than you think you do. It's different everywhere, but in most places, even if they do an eviction, they cannot make you move for 30 days. Okay, so that's why read your contract. Talk to somebody about this, because I'm getting cards talking about things going on typically behind someone's back, manipulation, evasiveness, stealth. They're pressuring you and saying this is how it has to be, when in reality, according to the laws of your locality and your contract, you don't have to move this week. You've got at least a month, and that's what's showing up, for me. But let's see if Mary has any more insight on it. You got anything else, Mary?
Yeah, a couple things come up here. One, I think that it is going to be delayed, and I think you're going to be surprised by something that you find out, some information that you get. We have the Page of Swords, which pages for me often are messengers, right? They talk about communication and new information, and then it goes right into the Fool card, where it's like, oh, wait a minute, and that leads us right into the Hanged Man, where, okay, nothing's really changing right now. They want you they want you to jump out the window and run down the street, really, is what it looks like,
Right, yeah, your compassion for humanity is what I told them, on Friday.
Yeah, because I have the tower card that comes up here where they're like, oh, jump, you got to go, you're trying to push you out the door. Strength card in the Nine of Pentacles. I'm looking at the timing with those two cards, actually, and that puts us end of August, beginning of September. So I think, you've got a window until then. And also, we got to see where the chips fall a little bit, because I think Dax is right. There's something amiss with how they're presenting this situation to you.
Okay. Now, my thing is, I've looked at many rentals. However, I'm afraid if I give them the address that I have to work with, or I'm sorry, if I don't give them it, then obviously I'm going to lose that. Obviously that wouldn't be available the end of August, September. But so you think then it would be safe to leave go of the one that I have in mind? It was the best of the dozen that I've looked at, per se.
Oh.
Yeah.
Right. So is that in your best interest to kind of let that one go and wait?
Or is it that, or I don't want to leave it go if I find another dozen that were like the first batch, you know what I'm saying, that I look at, virtually be in the same position a month out. And not have that place. The address, the number has a 20, and then I don't know if that helps.
Yeah, when I'm just looking at it, is it better to let that one go or not? I'll just do a comparison spread on that.
And Mary, Mary, while you're doing it, let me just jump in. I drew a single card and got the Judgment card, which is card 20. And you just mentioned 20.
Yeah, and I currently live in 24, and then my address beforehand was 204. So I don't know. I'm just, I don't know if I'm looking too hard, just trying to look for something to make me feel comfortable versus, okay, Mandy, you're just not doing this because they're threatening you.
Yeah. And that, I don't like that. If I was, pulling this card and it matching up with the address and it being a major arcana card, my initial, not knowing anything else about the situation, I would go, I would go for that and hold on to that, but knowing what we know, and with the cards that Mary drew and the cards that I drew and what's going on behind the scenes, I just don't like that. I would take the chance, let it go, and really stick to your guns. Don't let them force you out prematurely. That's what I'm feeling is going on. I think there's some shady stuff going behind the background. I would get an advocacy. Any help you can get.
Isn't there a national moratorium still in place on evictions? Come on.
I think it ends at the end. I think it ends at the end of this month.
Right. So it doesn't end this week.
That's right.
So there's that. But what I get in when we look at this idea of letting it go or keeping it, it's saying like to have faith in that actually there's a more equitable, better choices. If you wait a bit. We have the Justice card and we have the Three of Cups. If you wait, when we look at holding on to it, I get the Knight of Wands and the Three of Swords, and it's sort of like I feel like if you just run out of there and take that one place, that may not be the last move. Okay, you may find that you're going to move again. And also, you're not happy with it.
You said I won't be happy with it?
Yeah, I don't think you're going to be happy with it. The Three of Swords is like it's a card of divisions. It's like three. The imagery is like three swords right through the heart. Where it's like, it kills me to do this. And then the Knight of Wands energy. That's kind of this. Knights are about movement, and the Knight of Wands is kind of unsettled. So it makes me feel like, okay, well, she's going to end up moving again if she takes that one right now.
And that's funny that you said that, because that's what they stressed to me. That was their angle to help me feel better on Friday, because they own that property as well. And they're like, well, you won't be obliged to the year lease. You can go month to month until the end of December. But then, it would, turn into the year contract.
That's the selling point.
Yeah. And my argument was, who wants to move twice in 6 months or less?
Exactly. Oh, wow. Yeah. I think it works out better for you in the long run if you wait to find, a better place, like maybe somebody else's place and not one of theirs.
Right.
Yes. Yeah.
I just looked at one this morning, and it was atrocious. It wasn't theirs. A counselor.
At least it's not theirs.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that's. Like I said, I just looked at one this morning, and it was a counselor owns, and I can't believe somebody when in that position that to be 4 people showed myself, and I'm a single mother with a toddler. I've never been in a building that was so atrocious in my life.
Yikes.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you're going to have to obviously make the decision. I think you're going to get some information that's going to be helpful to you, though, and show that you have a little more time than what they're telling you. It sounds like they're trying to force this.
Do you see them proceeding with eviction? So if I don't tell them Monday morning that I'll go ahead and take the address, the 20, will they go with eviction, or what do you foresee there?
I think they're going to follow through with eviction. We do that. I don't see them doing it. I think there's going to be communication. None of these. I get the 4 of Pentacles, and so that's like kind of, not moving. That's like, it's like I'm holding on. But I think there it is the pressure campaign. We have the 10 of Wands followed by the 8 of Wands. So I feel like you're going to hear about it. But as far as them proceeding to evict you right away, I don't see that. It may be a process. Yeah, you got no eviction either. So, yeah, I mean, and I think, really what Dax is saying about finding somebody to advocate for you, I think could be really helpful.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, it's interesting too. When I pulled cards to do a yes/no on the eviction, again I'm getting all these 7 cards, and the 7 of Swords shows up yet again. That's the card that indicates something shady's going on in the background here. It's like reaffirming. You really got to look into this, see what that. Yeah, and definitely don't take a place that these people manage.
Yeah, I don't want, and I don't want an eviction on my. On my record, right. I don't want that over this, So, all the other scare antic has, affected me to an extent.
Sure.
Yeah.
That's stressful.
Okay. And then the move that you guys
we got to run, Mandy, we got to run. We're way over time right now.
Okay,
but don't forget,
for taking my call and fitting me in.
Yeah,
absolutely.
enjoy the rest of your weekend. And remember, folks, you can all call in tomorrow as well. Catch Sharona's show tomorrow with Dr. Barry, and write down the phone number. It's the same phone number, and you can call in tomorrow's show. And, of course, we'll be back next week with our guest, Certified Tarot Master Michaela Renna. Actually, I don't know if it's Rena or Renna because I've never asked her. But when there's two vowels, I like to go long on the first vowel, so I'm going to say Rena. But anyway, she'll correct us. It's going to be fun next week, though.
We'll find out. We'll find out how to pronounce her name and so much more.
And so much more. Yeah, you can call in next week as well. We'll be back. Thanks, everybody. And I did want to mention, when you were bringing it up for a second there, you thought I was going to be on Friday because I, was on Fridays with Dr. Rose with The Doctors Are In for, years now. And we're on hiatus is what's going on. And Dr. Rose said she wants to come back, but, she's taken extra classes that she's teaching at Berkeley and can't do anything in the summer right now, so we're taking a summer break. And then so that opened up the opportunity for Catherine to move her show from Wednesday to Friday. And so we're looking at different possibilities. Doctors Are In may or may not come back. It might be a different show title. It's going to be on a different day for sure. And, towards the end of summer, beginning of fall, keep your eye out. You'll hear what we're doing with that. We're even thinking of trying different formats and things as well. So, I'm only on Saturday with you now, Mary.
Wow. Only? What more could you want?
Well, no, I meant that I actually like it because it's freed up a lot of time, and I can do a lot more things for the Guild and so forth. So, it
awesome.
letting go, making changes. It's a year of change.
It's been the theme of the whole show when you really think about it. It's kind of cool.
Everyone. It's great. It's great. Embrace the change, I said earlier in the year. Embrace the change, folks. That's what I'm doing for sure. But thanks for everybody listening and all of our callers, and thanks for being here, Mary, and we'll see you next week.
Thank you, Jack. Yes. Bye, everybody.
Bye,
Thanks
everyone.
for listening.
Good night, John Boy.